We all know communication is important, but really why? Why is communication in marriage such an important piece?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, in that communication, I'm feeling known, right? I'm feeling known by that other person. I think we've got to remember though that a big part of communication is that listening part and not just waiting to be able to talk myself. Because sometimes we get into that rhythm of I'm just waiting for that pause so that I can jump in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not real. That's not the good kind of communication. But it's that kind of communication where I can feel like I'm known, I'm supported, like we're growing closer.
Yeah.
There's safety, there's security in that for me.
Yeah, I think in relationships, communication is like the air we breathe. Like without it, you don't have a relationship. If you never communicate with someone, you can have fond memories of your time with them, but communication is what develops and builds relationship. And so doing that well or poorly is often going to be a real distinctive in is the relationship healthy and growing and moving through seasons of life together, or is it deteriorating because of negativity and bitterness or criticism or all the things that can come into our communication. And so we have a tendency to take it for granted. We're around our spouses a lot, and so we talk a lot, but typically about kids and schedules and groceries and bills and the kind of stuff that it takes to get through life. But that's not necessarily the type of communication that builds a relationship. Now, it definitely is part of it, but it's all the stuff that, as you said, Sherry, knowing and being known. How I'm known and being known by others is about what I'm willing to communicate and how I communicate it and how I receive the communication from others. So just as air is ultimately necessary for survival, communication is necessary for a growing relationship.
I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you have heard and I've heard this so many different times growing up in the church, but like people would say, preach the gospel and use words if necessary. And I've always taken, the older I get, the more kind of I take offense to that a little bit, because if you read in scripture, Jesus talked a lot throughout it. And so just even from a design aspect, like that is how God gave us words, the ability to speak, and it's something that is intentional. And I can even hear someone maybe who's listening that isn't much of a talker. First off, good for you. Like, it's exhausting talking as much as I do every day. I can just tell you from personal experience, but that like God intended us to use our words, whether we like to use a lot of them or not, it is still something that we're designed with. And so the communication is built into the DNA anyway of who we are.
Yeah. I also think that communication as you're going through challenging times, right? That kind of can help you with that mutual accountability. Nothing is hidden. Yeah. We're walking in the light and we're walking together in the light.